would you like to try our new croissant breakfast sandwich today?
No, thank you.
Okay, for you.
Can I get a extra large black double cup and a? Do you have cinnamon raisin bagels?
Sorry, with an extra large black double cup.
Can I get one of those with toasted with peanut butter?
One package or two?
Just one.
That's going to be $3.72. We'll take the window.
Thank you. Good morning, YouTubes. It is Todd, the Canadian Bearded Vegan, back at you. I was doing a daily blog today. It's Wednesday, February the 3rd. So I'm just on my way to an out-of-town meeting today, and I decided to stop and get a bagel with, let's say, cinnamon raisin bagel with peanut butter. There you go. So I'm going to whip this up quick here. So today is going to be a little different. It's just going to be it's kind of like a walk and talk, except I'm driving. So I've got a few things to talk about. So I'm gonna finish my breakfast, and once we get going, we'll come back and we'll get started on chatting it out. Well, hopefully the audio doesn't suck too much now. I'm driving on my way to the out-of-office meeting. This used to be my drive every day. It's kind of boring. Have a look here. That's pretty much it. It's 100 kilometers of trees and fields. It's not even hilly, but that's where I'm going. That way. So, I said before, it's February 3rd, so I've been eating a plant-based diet, vegan now, for just over a month. And quite honestly, I could easily stay eating like this. It's actually really good. You know, I feel really well, and I don't feel run down or anything. This last week I've been a little sick, or a couple weeks, but that's just everybody that I know at work and family and everybody has had the same thing. It's just been going around everybody, but otherwise, I don't know, just stuffy nose and a little bit of a chest cough. I've been really, really well. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I haven't really changed any way or any sort of any exercise habits or anything like that, and just strictly eating the plant-based. Not perfect, but pretty well. I've lost 10 pounds. So, this month my wife joined up for a gym, which I'm really, really excited about. So I'm going to start a new program at my gym, and I think, once a week I'll work out with her, show her some things, and I'm going to do a strong lifts 5x5 program. So basically it's just the standard compound movements: squats, deadlifts, bench press, what else is there, rows, I think, and it's 5 or 6 compound movements. It's full body exercising, 5 reps, 5 sets, increasing weights, so it should be good. I've tried a couple different programs, but I've never been able to really keep at it. Again, that's just my problem. Being able to commit to something. So I'm gonna try this. It should be actually pretty easy. It's 3 days a week. Again, five sets. Each workout, there's like 2 workouts work in A, B, each one is 3 or 4 moves. So, it should be relatively quick. And I think it's something I can do. And it's been proven to have really good results. Really good results. Increase your strength. So I'll complement that with I'm going to try some daily yoga. Just some complementing positions that will help me increase my squats and my deadlifts and limber me up a little bit. So I think it should be good. What else? So I think the whole January thing went really well. I have an Instagram account that I set up to help with keep me honest. I'll put my Instagram link in the description. I think I always put it in the description below. So, but basically, it was just mostly just food porn, really. The community on there is fantastic. I did roughly about a post and a half a day throughout January, and I started out with nothing, and just doing some of the the hashtags on the Instagram comments and everything. I slowly gained I wouldn't say huge following, but a fair amount of followers, and very positive feedback, and I follow them back, and getting inspiration for meals and stuff, and it's amazing how many different kinds of food and the colors and just the flavors of all the different foods that you can make on a vegan plant-based diet. It does not have to be boring, and even if you don't want to make just beans and lentils or whatever, there's all sorts of transitional foods and meat substitutes that you can get to make dishes that you really, really love. Like, I made this pizza and I put on veggie ground round beef and some like a hot Italian sausage, and threw on some vegetables and peppers and onions and spices, and then I put on some mozzarella cheese, some mozzarella, and oh my god, it was so good. I could not get over how good it was. Even leftovers the day after, had it, threw it up, and put it in the toaster oven there at work, and people would come into the lunchroom and just say, "Wow, what smells so good?" And they'd look at it and be like, "Wow, that looks really good." I'm like, "Yep, well, it's vegan." And they're like, "Really?" Yep. So it's you can get stuff that looks like meat, for those people who just, I don't know, they can't get it. But anyways, so some of the ups and downs of the month. Downs obviously were some of the I guess I don't know, the conceptions or the stereotypes of of people eating vegan or whatever. You know, my wife just couldn't get over the fact that I wasn't eating meat or dairy for the month, and you know, she's just like, oh, I want my husband back and this and that, because you know, to be fair, you know, a lot of what I did for eating was, you know, I'd have, you know, meat with a side of meat wrapped in bacon. You know, vegetables were kind of a garnish. And that was every meal. You know, I never really felt bad eating. I usually did have a fair amount of vegetables with my food. I'm not a picky eater, so I would eat a lot of different vegetables. You know, my wife and my kids they're not picky eaters, but they're selective in what they like. So, you know, they'll eat broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, corn, you know, regular lettuce, you know, anything outside of that, and you know, it's a little bit of a challenge to eat. Although, you know, my wife does like, you know, a stir fry, so we'll put in some bean sprouts and water chestnuts. So she does like, you know, things like that. But, you know, when it comes to other stuff, like, you know, I'll eat kale and collard greens and bok choy and, you know, all sorts of weird vegetables and lots of different fruits. You know, I'll try mangoes and, you know, dragon fruit and, you know, if it's not apples or bananas or oranges, then good luck, you know, trying anything else. So that's a little bit of a challenge. Kids are pretty much the same way. They pretty much eat how their mother eats, which, you know, again, is fine. You know, I try to introduce some things in small amounts here and there, but, you know, I can only do so much. But, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, so, you know, that was a little bit challenging throughout the month. You know, we'd go out for supper and, you know, she'd just be like, oh, it's not worth it for you to go out because you're just going to get a veggie burger or something. And, you know, we went out to a burger place called The Works. It's a, you know, a gourmet burger place, and, you know, they have, you know, all sorts of weird toppings and, you know, stuff like that. And I would, you know, she got a regular burger, and, you know, they've got a veggie burger there, and it's a, you know, vegan burger, and, you know, the toppings I got was essentially kind of like a Greek salad. However, I asked to change the feta cheese to avocado, and holy crap, the burger was so good. It was delicious, fantastic. You know, she shook her head, and, you know, we got into a fight after. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, why, you know, this isn't you, and it was just like, I don't know what to tell you. This is what I'm doing. You know, I want to change, and, you know, I'm doing this for me. You know, I want to try something. So that was an ongoing battle throughout the month. You know, even now, I think it was, you know, the beginning of the month, February now, or I guess a couple days ago, she's just like, you know, you're going to go back to normal, right? I didn't really say yes or no, so I don't think I'm going to go back. I really enjoy eating like this. I, you know, enjoy feeling like this, so, you know, I'm going to probably stick with this as long as I can, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, another downside that I found was we had a chili day at work, and you know, we were talking about all different sorts of chilies and that. You know, in a meeting with the social committee that I'm on, you know, I just asked if anybody had a smaller crock pot, just so I can make a veggie one, or and they're like, oh, who's that for? I'm like, oh, it's for me. And they're like, oh. So that was a little bit, most of those people were pretty accepting about it, but at work, and I think I mentioned this before on my first walk and talk, was I work at a rural insurance company, where most of our clients are farmers, so everything is meat and dairy and all that kind of stuff. But the chili that I made, looking at it, looked like a meat chili. I put in some peppers and onions and mushrooms and stuff, but I used a veggie ground round, so it looked and smelt like a chili. I didn't want to tell anybody, but some people kind of got hip to it. They're just like, oh yeah, it's a veggie chili, and they'd have it open and have a scoop ready to go, put it in their bowl, and then they go, oh, really? Ugh. And I was just like, for crying out loud, it's not that bad. They just kind of stuck up their nose, and that kind of pissed me off. Not like, you're looking at it, you're smelling it, you're saying, that smells really good, and then as soon as they find out there's no meat in it, they're just like, oh. So I was just like, you guys fucking suck. And some of the people were just like, oh, I don't know if I want to try it. And I'm just like, don't fucking knock it until you try it. And honestly, it tasted really good. Actually, by the end of it, I made a fairly large bowl of it, or like a crock pot, and it was almost empty. I didn't have that much leftovers, surprisingly. So, people were trying it, they enjoyed it, and I was really, happy about that. So yeah, that, those were kind of the downs about the whole thing. So, ups, obviously, I feel friggin' fantastic. What's some of the pluses here? There's some of the restaurants, there's lots of choices to go to. One of the nicer things that I guess I ran into was I went to a place called Pita Pit, and it's just hot pitas and stuff like that. And they, I got black bean pita and falafel pita. Obviously, when I went to get everything all wrapped up, I just said, they asked for what toppings I wanted on the pitas, and I was just like, yeah, just throw everything, just no cheese, no cheese, no sour cream or whatever. And they're, the one lady asked if I was vegan, or if it was vegan. I'm like, I guess so, yes. And she's just, she was actually concerned about the utensils, or the cooking stuff that the beans and falafels were being used with, because she didn't want the meat ones, the meat cutting tools, to be used on the beans. I was like, oh, okay, I don't really care, but she's like, oh, no, it makes a difference. So I'm like, okie doke, that's cool, thanks. So that was kind of neat. And yeah, so sorry, 1 second. yeah, so that was one of the positive experiences, and obviously, you know, the Instagram community there was amazing. You know, so supportive, and you know, I'm really enjoying that that part of it. So actually, I gotta stop now because I'm where I am. So we'll continue this on the way home. So we'll be back. Hey, day's over. I'm just going home now. So I think I left off at pluses, or the nice things about what I did over the month, and I think the what I was left off was the Instagram community. Awesome, it's great, and you know, going through a lot of the you know, people's accounts, and looking at all the different foods, you know, how you can just anything that you can eat normally, with or without meat, you can basically veganize it, or at least find a vegan substitute for it. So I think one of the things I want to try, and I'm probably going to try this on this YouTube channel, is create a new series called Veganize It. You know, being my background is Portuguese, Irish, and Scottish, but you know, a lot of the food that I really enjoy is some Portuguese food, and some of the staples in that obviously is chicken. You know, and another one is chorizo, which is the best sausage ever. So, you know, I've looked around and you know, found some recipes that would actually work for that. You know, that's not tofu, but it's seitan. So I'm gonna have to try to find, or I've got everything I need to make it. I just have to actually do it. Finding some time to set aside to make it and record it, all that kind of stuff. So one of the other things too is bacalhau, which is cod. It's a cod dish. So you know, it's cod and shredded potatoes. So you know, I could probably get away with using, you know, maybe some of the Gardein products. They have the fish. You know, so I might give that a shot. But it does require usually some egg in it. So one of the other really nice Portuguese dishes, and it's a dessert. It's pastel de nata, which is a egg custard pastry. They are to die for. I don't know if that's the right way. Obviously, it's made with eggs. It's a custard. But I have found some products that could go in that would, it's like an actual egg yolk substitute, which is probably the closest thing for baking stuff like that. So if I can get my hands on that, I'm definitely going to try to make some. It's a very labor intensive recipe to make. I've made them before, and it's taken a few hours, but the end result is just, it's unbelievable. Easily, I'm not a huge fan of sweet desserts and stuff, but this one, oh, I can just eat them all up. So good. So, you know, that I want to kind of try and do. Obviously, I've made pizza, you know, with the I don't know how you say it, Dia cheese. I've used the mozzarella. I used the cheese slices, the cheddar style cheese slices. I got the meatless sausage. And, you know, you can use the ground round, and you know, so tons of stuff that you can do. Italian food's probably going to be the easiest thing to do, but some of the Portuguese stuff. Actually, one of the other things too is the fanache, which is using pork cutlets. It's what they're normally made from. It's a really thin slice. So you know, again, you could probably make it using seitan. It's just really thinly sliced and baked in this sort of a tomato wine sauce, and then it's just served with grilled onions and mushrooms and peppers. So that'll probably be a fairly easy one to make. So you know, we'll see how things go, and I think that'll be the next goal, is to try to do things like that and see how long it goes. But I think overall it's been pretty successful. You know, energy wise, I've said before, you know, I have lots of energy. You know, I feel really good. I play hockey on a weekly basis, and you know, it's a late at night hockey, and you know, I don't feel any more drained than I normally do. It's you know, it's just a pickup league, but you know, we only have 2-3 subs aside, so you know, it can get a little tiring at points. So I know the last couple weeks I've been a little drained because of me being sick, but you know, I'm not as sore afterwards. I think I'm recovering better, just because of, you don't realize how much protein you're actually eating when you're eating all these beans and lentils, and you know, combined with rice and everything else. So you know, it's recovery wise, it's just as good as before, probably, if not better. I don't know. I think maybe one of the other downsides too that I found is the grocery bill. Right now, a lot of the produce here in Canada is really expensive. You know, a lot of our dollar's pretty low compared to the American dollar, so you know, it makes for some of the transporting costs a lot. I think at one point there, a couple weeks ago, we had cauliflower. It was like $7.99 a pound for fucking cauliflower. That's absolutely ridiculous. So it's you know, depending on where you get your food from, can really affect, you know, what you can and can't eat, and especially too, obviously, with some of the processed stuff, a lot of it can be pretty absurd, and how expensive it is. Like if you're getting stuff from Gardein or Eve's, or you know, any of the pre-made burgers or the sausages, you know, they can be like $5-6 a package. And you know, the Italian sausages that I got before it was like $5.99 for 4 or 5 sausage links. So you know, all right, my camera died because I didn't charge it all. So yeah, you know, the price of produce, it's crazy. Obviously, processed food again is really expensive. You know, Amy's makes this, you know, meatless pizza, or you know, dairy-free pizza, and you know, just for like a small package. It was like, $10 for like a package of pizza pockets from Tofurky. Well, really, really good. It was really expensive. It was like $7, $8 for just 2 pizza pockets, where, if you got like a regular pizza pocket, it would be, $2-3. So it's kind of the one downside if you're looking at getting the transitional foods. So I try not to get too much of that, just because obviously it's really expensive to keep buying that kind of stuff. So I kind of keep that to a minimum. Most of the stuff I buy is just either tofu or tempeh, or that's probably about it. And most of the rest of the stuff I just kind of make myself. So because I couldn't find any pre-made seitan, so I've got recipes to make it. So a lot of it includes wheat gluten and nooch and nutritional yeast, and then just spices and flavors and all those other things. So you can make obviously a lot more using that than actually going out and buying it. So, but like I said, other than that, the hardest thing again is just dealing with the criticism from family. So it's kind of something I have to work on and deal with, but I feel good, and we'll see how this goes. What the fuck is this here? I'm doing less than the speed limit. How out of the way? Okay, this is the worst part. 3-lane highway, and I'm doing 10 under the speed limit because old people like to drive in the middle of the fucking highway. Anyways, that's just irritating. That peeve of mine of driving on the highway for so long. Anyways, I might edit that part out. Now let's edit that part out. Anyway, yeah, so we'll see how this goes. It's day 34 now, I guess, of eating vegan, plant-based diet. So I'm happy with it, and I'll continue on with it. I like doing these vlogs and recipes, so hopefully we can expand the channel and connect with other people, and we'll see where this leads. I'm liking this, so let's go from there. And if there's any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or if you have any suggestions on how to deal with people who don't really get it, let me know, because I could use the help. Anyways, I'm out. I'm gonna drive home, enjoy this drive home, and we'll talk to you guys later. Happy eating, beard on.